otra cosa que pueden hacer los gobiernos, ¿no? Que
Now
es
we will
aplicar
look at what else does this government can do. They can implement a coherent strategy and practice for changing the relation of production. How can capitalist ownership be transformed into social ownership? It is a process, and as Michael Leibowitz says, it is a complex process which requires time. It is not simply a matter of changing ownership from one owner to another. Social relations in general must be changed. A process is required to change both attitudes and ideas. A cultural transformation is needed. It is necessary, therefore, to design a strategy which is coherent with our objective. And what will this strategy be? Michael Leibowitz distinguished between three types of enterprises: state-owned enterprises, cooperatives, private capitalist companies. And for each one of these, he proposed some ideas. How can we advance in state-owned enterprises in those who are nationalized? What can we do in those sectors to advance towards our goal? First, create workers' council. Promote the organization of workers into workers' councils. Second, direct production towards people's needs and stop creating artificial needs. Third, open the books, that is, ensure transparency of information about what is going on the business, so the workers can really control the business and express their opinion about it. If they do not have information, they can neither control nor any real participation in it. Another measure is to enable them to elect managers that shares the same vision, their vision. If we are aiming for a participative society, we cannot have managers with a military style. They must have the workers' trust. They can be elected in various ways. At times it is the workers themselves who elect them, but since the workers' culture has also been inherited from the past, maybe it is better, especially in the initial stage, for workers to be able to reject or approve proposals made to them by the government. Names could be proposed by the top, and then one of them could be selected by the workers, so the vision of the government can be reconciled with that of the workers. In any case, I think that people rejected by the workers must not be imposed as managers, because clearly the will to work depends greatly on the good relations established between managers and workers. Another basic element of state enterprises is that they must seek a new kind of efficiency, and therefore must plan for workday which includes time for workers' education. These are a few of the ideas regarding state enterprises.
en las empresas cooperativas. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Que la cooperativa...
And what about cooperatives? Here it is a collective who owns and manages the means of production, that is to say, their enterprise. But what happened? The problem is that this collective has to deal with the capitalist market. A cooperative generally competes with other cooperatives, and many times the big capitalist companies are the ones that impose the competition. There is a series of things that cooperatives can do if it wants to be a cooperative which practices solidarity. One of the first things cooperative members must understand is that their collective interest should take into account the interest of the majority. To do this, Michael proposal is basic. Links must be forged between cooperatives. Products should be exchanged between them. Also, there must be links between cooperatives and communities. It is quite different for a cooperative to plan production to meet its own interest than to do it through discussion with the community. We propose that a baker cooperative or a taxi cooperative go and hold their planning discussion with the people in the community. So everybody participates in expressing their opinions to discuss the route, the hours of business, etc. The cooperative members do not decide everything. The opinion of the community are also taken into account.
Y por último, las empresas capitalistas.
Lastly, what can governments do about the capitalist enterprises? They can demand transparency, open books, so that communities and workers can inspect them. Does not go directly against the logic of capitalism, but the companies do not do it because they do not want to reveal their profits. The governments can use a system of prices and taxes to stimulate the production of certain products. They can reduce taxes for those products which are needed, for example, and raise them in the case of superfluous items. Another tool is the use of competition from the state companies and cooperatives to lower the prices. For example, if a capitalist company is raising its price very high, state companies can produce at much lower prices, obliging them to lower the price. Also, governments can design regulations about the organization of the workday. Establishing time must be allotted for workers to study. Also, specific ways in which workers can participate can be required. Now, why would capitalist companies be willing to do these things? Simply because if they don't do that, they would not be able to obtain, for example, easy credits. The state can stimulate with credits. It can stimulate by buying products and guaranteeing a market. Many of these products go for specific services, and it is in their mutual interest. In fact, in Venezuela, an alliance of this kind with medium and small capitalist sector is being made. Now, why would a revolutionary government be interested in maintaining capitalists if capitalists by definition exploit workers? Well, because the government is not capable overnight of running all the companies for the whole country. The productive process requires experience, preparation, and management skills. One of the big failures of our government is that they lack managers with a new way of thinking. Efficiency in production is necessary, but people are not yet prepared. A process for educating our new cadres must be introduced, and the presence of capitalists accepted while they cannot be replaced.